Welcome everyone to another exciting Ramrod review, filmed in iPhone 8 studios here at the thriving metropolis of Toano, Virginia. No, we're not going to review that nice chocolate brown bear I killed up in northeast Saskatchewan, 2001 with a Hoyt, with a Muzzy at that point. Beautiful bear, did make Boone and Crockett. Today we are going to review the CamX A4. Now, I don't know about you folks, and I think a lot of you guys were, because I read it on the forums, were pretty excited about this bow when it was released. I know I was. So we're going to do a quick review. I'm doing it in the man cave today because the bow came in Friday evening. There were 2 boxes on the truck. I had the second to the last, so it came in late. I had enough time to put it together, shoot a few arrows, get the scope where I wanted it. Yesterday we had over 2 inches of rain, and today it's storming again, so not a lot of shooting. So I know everyone saw the reviews at the ATA show, but they were filmed from the folks at for the folks at CamX. So let's just do a little bit of an unboxing on what you get. So it does come in one box, as you can clearly see. Inside the box is a small utility box that has all your shims for your length of pull. You can change, so there's a medium one in there now. There's a longer one and 2 shorter ones. There is a bag with bolts in there for when you do change length of pull. There's different lengths of the bolts. You have your Allen wrench, and it comes with 2 cable slides. It does come with a spare. The one obviously is in. You do have your long rope sled. This is a sled bow because of the string angle. You do have what they call the wishbone quiver, which is a nice quiver. 2 gripper. Hollow inside, so anybody that shoots expandables, they won't open them up. This nice thumb screw, really nice for putting it on. Doesn't come off of there. Easy on, easy off. Comes with a well-written owner's manual. Everything's clearly spelled out. You have like a small information pack on the bow. Gives you the specs of the bow. Talks a little bit about the scope. Here is your performance test fire. This one does come with 4 AccuSpines that were supposed to weigh 390 grains. It does weigh 390 grains, all 4 of them right on the dot, so that's pretty impressive. And this bow shoots flat nocks. So you think about the string angle on this bow, that is pretty impressive to shoot flat nocks on there. So a little bit about the bow, things that I liked. Again, this is on my iPhone. I apologize for everything. The bow is a 1 bolt mount. So you can see right there, bolt goes in there. You just have to put your cable slide on, and away you go. Really, they claim 35 seconds. Probably if you put a few together, it's 35. Probably took me 2 minutes, but still not a long time. Everything is already mounted. You can see the foot stirrup has a rubber coating on there, very nice. You can see their long finger protectors. It goes all the way down the length of the rail. It goes from the trigger all the way to the string, which is nice, and then under the bottom for the cable. That they don't move themselves. Bow looks great in black. It's got the red lettering on the limbs. Looks pretty cool. It's got the red, obviously you can see the red Winner's Choice strings. Good strings, especially the old vertical guys. When in my vertical days I shot Winner's Choice. Limb dampeners, string, and then string suppressors. Very nice bow. The scope comes mounted and calibrated. I had to tweak it a little bit because I did change one of the length of pulls here, so that put a little further back. I just had to move it. It was leveled, I just had to move it back a little bit. As you can see, the black, I don't know about the camo, I haven't seen one. The black bow is textured. This is the same stock on the regular CamX bow. They just put it over here. A couple things I do like about it. Let me flip it over a little bit. You can see where the quiver goes on right there. And then when you look at this grip here on the bottom of the foregrip, it's got a little bit of a, I guess that would be concave, where it sits on your thigh nicely, rests on your thigh nicely. And if you're hunting, you could probably put a tripod right there, screw that right in. So it did a really nice job. This here, the hand guard is rubber. I'm sure it's metal under there. You could remove that if you wanted to, though I don't know why you would. All in all, it's a great bow. The monoblock trigger system, as they talk about, you know, they did a nice job with all of it. Right there is the safety. I know it's hard to see because it's in black. Let's go. So, very impressed with it. Let's talk about that scope real quick. It's called the ARC 370, ARC 370. I'm going to go to this a little bit. So that is the reticle. As you can see, the top crosshair is a 20-yard just crosshair. 30, 40, 50 are dots, and it's illuminated out to 50. And then it goes 60 is a dot, or looks like a crosshair, then 70, 80, 90, and 100 are chevrons. So it does exactly what it says. So the scope is calibrated for this bow and for a 390 grain arrow. So you sight it in at 20 yards and it is good out to 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever. I only have a 40 yard range out back, but it was dead on out to 40. And at the end of the day, I did put a slick trick on the bow because that's my arrow of choice. And I shot my broadhead target at 40 yards and it was dead on at 40 yards with the slick trick. So I was pretty impressed with that. A little bit about the sled. Sled fits nicely, not a lot of slop. When it fits on here, I'll show you, you do have to play with it a little bit because it you have to push the flanges down, and then once it catches on the string, you just pull it straight up. No problem here. For you guys that know, I'm 6 weeks removed from left shoulder surgery, rotator cuff. I can cock this bow with no problem. Zero problems whatsoever. The bow cocks nicely. Here's one of the things, let me point out, let me show you something with these handles. You know, a lot of the cocking handles everything's kind of even. You have the string, and then you have a finger slot here and a finger slot there. That's it. On this one, look at that. Put your index finger in the front. Look at that. For you guys that shot verticals, have you ever shot the hand releases? You know, that's nice. You just put it in there like that, and it really aids in cocking because you can get your whole hand on there. They did a really nice job on this bow. You know, my thoughts out of the box were, well, I guess it's okay, and it went together okay, and this and that. But I tell you, it's one of those bows that the more you shoot it, the more impressive that it is. And it does shoot nice. Now, it is fairly quiet. It's hard to tell at my house because my bench is right next to the house, so it gives a little louder sound than when you get away from it. It is a one-shot, boom, stop, no vibration. Does have a little jump at the shot, but the bow does shoot 370 feet per second. Oh, while we're talking about the performance, here's the performance test sheet. So they shoot the bow 20 yards, so you can see it's a high X there. But it's still in the circle of 20. The bow chronoed at 376, and this bow was built 625/18. Whoever the tech is signs it. I don't have a chronograph. I stopped using them because they drive me crazy. Anytime that I had a bow, let's say a bow was supposed to shoot 350 and shot 348, would just drive me insane. So I just kind of quit messing with chronographs myself. If I need to see that bad, I'll go to a friend's house or I'll take it to a pro shop. But you know, other than that, I don't mess with that anymore. Let me get a tape measure. This part interested me. They claim it's a 10.5 axle to axle. Well, obviously, you can see that the axle to axle is longer. That the limbs are outside of the cam. So let me see if I can get a tape measure on this baby. So I'll go around. Again, sorry I don't have an assistant. You just got old Pollock here measuring. So limb tip to limb tip, it's about 20 1/4. This is uncocked. The ATA is about 13. Oh, I'm sorry, wasn't even on there. About 13 1/4. Now I can't pause this phone, so I'm going to set it down a second. Just so I'm going to cock it, and then we're going to look at it. What it looks like axle to axle. I mean, when it's cocked. You can see here the swing arms. They kind of straight on at this point, maybe toward the front. But let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like when I cock it. Again, apologize. I can't. I don't know how to pause this thing, so I'm just going to set it down a second. I'll be right back with you. Hold on a second. Putting the sled on now. Easy on. If I don't tangle the ropes, it's easy on. Goes on the string very easy. Just pull it up over the scope. Cock the bow. Very easy to cock. Again, I had shoulder surgery 6 weeks ago, and I just cocked that bow no problem. All right, now let's take a look. Now here's what it looks like cocked. As you can see, a much more pronounced arc. These are now back toward, these are now back. So again, they swing forward as they claim. Let's get the old tape measure out here, see how we look, what we look like now. Give me a second. So again, limbs were 20 inches earlier. Now let's see what we got. They're now tip to tip just at 16 inches. So they compact 4 inches. Axle to axle. It's about what they say. They claim 10 inches and they're right there. It's about 10 1/4 inches there. So again, the bow does what it says it does. Again, impressed with the bow a lot. I will say this, when you look at this package, number one, it's hard to do the scope justice without looking at it yourself. It does have pretty decent glass in there. And again, you can see how the reticle looks. You see above the crosshair, everything's nice and clean. And then again, everything's pronounced nicely. Here's another nice thing I like about this. I'll show you this on the scope. You can see on the dial, it's got numbers and it's got a dot in between the numbers. Well, when you hit the dot, it turns the illumination off. When you turn it to the dot, so in other words, if you like it at a certain intensity, it would be 4, 5, 6, whatever you like. You just turn it to there versus having to start clicking all the way around till you get what you like. It's right where you left it. But you just turn it back one click and it's off. So I do kind of like that a lot. I do think the bow, they did a nice job with this bow. And the other thing I want to talk about are these arrows. It is so nice to see a bow company ship a bow out with quality arrows. I remember when I first got into crossbows, my first crossbow was a Striker 350. That was before the Solutions. And if you wanted a really good arrow, and if you wanted them indexed and things that have become popular now, you had to buy an AccuSpine, and that's what they send with these. Guys are still shooting AccuSpines. They're great arrows. Again, this is a 18-inch arrow. Arrow comes right there in the cutout, so you could shoot a 20 if you want it, but the 18 comes right there. So nice package all the way around. You can see the string angle. People asked how easy it is to decock. Again, I'm by myself, so I can't show it to you. It is simple to decock. It's not the button system like the Mission, but still, decock's very easy. So they did a nice job. There's a lot of nice bows. Finishing up with the arrows, sorry about getting off track, but it's nice to see, CamX put the AccuSpines with the bow. It's nice to see what 10-point with the Evo X with the bow, their upper end bows. Ravens now putting the Black Eagles 001s with their bow. It's nice to see that finally these bow manufacturers are putting good packages together. Now this, personally, this is just an opinion of mine. So obviously it can get debated, and if it's on the forums, it will get debated. I think this is about the best standard out-of-the-box package that you can buy in today's crossbow world. So take us nut jobs off the forum who have to mess with everything or tweak this, tweak that. You get a guy or a gal right out of the get-go that wants to go crossbow hunting. I think this is the best package you can find. And I'm not saying that because it's sitting on my table. I'm just saying that in general. And again, I got the black. You can get mossy oak tree stand. You can get a real tree. It just depends on what you like. I'm becoming more and more fond of black bows anymore. I don't know why, but I am. But for you guys and gals And if you have kids, look at this. Look at that. I mean, that is great to keep people safe down there. I mean, that runs from, again, right to the safety. It's behind the trigger, all the way to here to the string angle, to the stops. That is a nice feature. Again, you guys are going to yell at me because I have my finger there. I understand that, but that's that. So all in all, I'll have to show some performance outside if it ever stops raining. Today it's not going to be that day. I will decock this bow. I may upload another video because again, I ain't figured out how to pause this baby. I have a Stealth NXT, I have a Micro 355, and I have a Bulldog 360. I'll kind of show it to you what they look like next to each other stacked up. So thanks for looking. I hope anybody that was interested in this bow, I hope this video helped. I will tell you, this is a good one to own. You know, fit and finish. There might be a few nicer ones out there, but again, this is a $10.99 bow as you see it. Now, the last thing is finding one of these bows. If you go on the website and you punch in dealer locator, the closest dealer to me is in Delaware and 176 miles away. So this is, I hate to say it, kind of like guys that were, you know, wanting to see a scorpion. Sometimes you can't find them. This is from Wyvern Creations. One thing about David, if you were to buy this bow from Wyvern, it's $10.99. He gives you a dozen of AccuSpines. I think he throws in a pack of broadheads, and he throws in a CamX case. So again, $10.99 from him, and you get all that plus a dozen arrows and a case. So again, you know, if you look at new bows nowadays, they're $1,500 and up for the flagship bows. You're going to save about $500. Bow's going to shoot 370. You're not going to have to pull the scope off unless you want to pull the scope off. You have no reason to change the arrows unless you want to change the arrows, but there's really no reason to. It's got a decent quiver. I'm not one of those big quiver guys. I normally don't even put them on a bow. They normally go in my pack. But if you wanted to put it on your quiver, you could, or you put it on the bow, you could. You know, I'm a short guy. I'm 5'10". You know, I could change the length of pull on this bow. A lot of you guys are over 6 feet with them long arms. Well, you might like a little bit of longer length of pull. This one does that. Simple, easy to cock. If I had to guess a cocking effort, I would say somewhere between a Solution 350 and a Solution 390, somewhere in there. It's not exactly as easy as a 350, and it's not as difficult as a 390. So that's pretty good. Plus you can decock it. Get out of the stand, decock it, and you're good to go. So thanks for tuning in. Hope this helps. I'm going to load this up on the forums. Any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. But again, I've only owned this bow a couple days. It does shoot well, and I hope to put some more time in it. Have a good day.